After we Christians get into heaven, and the wonder of everything around us is now being taken in. And we see this, as it says in Revelation 21 and verse 5, all things are going to be unprecedented, never before imagined or used before. Well, after we get settled with all of that, I guess you would say, and people ask me, Brad, what would you want to do? There are some people say, well, I want to go see my loved ones. Or somebody else says, I'd like to taste of the heavenly food. Well, Brad, what would you like to do? You know what? I would like to have a conversation with Jesus. I'd like to talk with him. And whether it's one-on-one or as a group to one, I come from a family where we love conversation, we love stories, we love enjoyment of conversation, whether at holidays, family gatherings, and that's the same thing. When I get to heaven, I want to hear Jesus. And here's the reason why. I get some hints in the scripture when he was here on earth. Luke 4:22, it tells us, as he was speaking in the synagogue in Nazareth, that the people there were most taken aback by him, how well he spoke. And it says, and they marveled at the gracious words which were pouring forth from his lips. The gracious words actually put them in a place of wonder. We think of over in John. When you take a look in John chapter 7, verse 46, and the officers were to arrest Jesus, bring him back to the Pharisees, and they didn't. And you can imagine, as you're reading the narrative here, how stunned they were when they walked back in, and the Pharisees are like, what? We told you to bring him back in and arrest him. And they said, no man has ever spoken like this man. They never even apologized. They were so taken by the words of Jesus, not only what he was saying, but it appears on how he was saying it. In Psalm 45 and verse 2, when it gives you the messianic psalm of the Messiah to come, it tells us in there, grace is poured upon your lips. We're hearing one who is, as we see in the scriptures, his words are faithful and true. We see that in Revelation chapter 22, many places that we can rely on this word. We're going to hear the truth of these words. But the wonder, in Ephesians chapter 3, Paul talks about the unsearchable riches of Christ and how that even here on earth, we're learning how to see the width and the length and the height and the depth of his love, which also come out in his words. Yeah, I'd like to have a conversation with Jesus. I think that one of the great joys in heaven, as we see in Ephesians 1:10, is getting answers from him about things that happen on earth and how they led for us to be able to glorify him even more.